All right, guys. So we are doing our second lesson of the week in Quill. We're working with prepositions. Yesterday, we talked about how the prepositions at, in, and on could be used to show the time or when something happens. Today, we're going to use those same three prepositions in, on, and at, but this time we're going to use them to show the location where something happens. So these prepositions can be used to show when, but they can also be used to show where. So let's look at some examples of how these are used to show the location something happens. So the first example is I live in New York City. The gift is in a box. I am in the classroom. I am in the car. So in these three different sentences, we're using the preposition in to show location. But sorry, four sentences. But all four sentences have different situations. So let's kind of break down what this means. No, unfortunately, I can't type there, so I'm not going to bother. Let's look at this first sentence. I live in New York City. So, following the word preposition in, I've got the name of a city. So, we would use in when we talk about the name of a city, but we would also use it when we talk about the name of a state. So, I could say, I live in California. And finally, we could use in when we talk about the name of a country. I live in the United States of America. So in is used to show when the location is a city, country, or state. Another example is from this sentence, so the gift is in a box. So whenever something, an item that we're referring to in the sentence, so in this case it's the gift, whenever that is inside or enclosed in a space, like surrounded by walls or some other type of surrounding, then we use the preposition in. So that also applies to something like I am in the classroom. So when you think of that enclosed space, we don't want to necessarily always think of something small like a box. We could be in a room. That room has walls, it's surrounding the people in the class. So that also applies to the same idea of being enclosed. I am the subject of the sentence and I am enclosed inside this classroom. Finally, we would use in when we're talking about small vehicles. So remember, small vehicles. So that would be like a car or a taxi. I am in the car. I am in the taxi. Let's look at on also. On can be used to show location, and on is used to show location in a large vehicle. So remember back here, I am in the car. We said in was used for a small vehicle. Well, on would be used for a larger vehicle. And I wish I had something to show you here, but just listen to these sentences. If I'm talking about something like a train, an airplane, a bus, I am not in a train. I'm actually on a train. I am in an airplane. I am on a bus. Usually you can kind of think about it where, like, if I can stand up and walk around on that vehicle, then I am on the vehicle. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily always matter. Like if I'm on one of those little tiny trains at like the fair or something, I can't necessarily walk around, but I would still be on a train. So when we think about larger vehicles like those, then we use the preposition on, not in. So also we would use on. This is annoying, right? Anyways, also we would use on when we're talking about like something being on a surface. So that could be on a shelf, on a desk, on a table. If there's something underneath the object supporting it, then that would be on as well. So a person can be on the ground, right? Our next preposition is at. So we would use at when we are talking about a specific building or a specific location. I am at the store. I am at school. So the store and school are specific buildings. And then I am at the party. That's a specific location. So I'm at this party. It is a location. Let's think about how we could answer this question. Where will you be on Saturday? I could answer the question using the preposition in, at, or on, depending on what I'm going to describe, right? I will be in Tahoe. So if I'm using the name of a city, then I would use it. I would be in Hawaii. I wish I would be in Hawaii, but that would be the name of a state. So I would use in. What about at? I will be at home. That's a specific building or location. I will be at my grandma's house. And then finally, on. I will be on an airplane. When we talk about a large vehicle, like an airplane, then we use on. I will be on the bus. I will be on my bed sleeping, because there we're talking about being on top of a surface, and the surface being your bed. So depending on what we're describing for the location, determines which one of those prepositions I'm going to use. So what did we learn today? Today we talked again about these three prepositions in, at, and on, but today we talked about how they can be used to describe the location. In is used when things or people are enclosed in a space and with small vehicles. At is used with buildings, locations, and events. And then on is used with large vehicles and when things are on a surface. What you're going to do now is you're going to go do the activity for today. The activity is called at, in, on, this time with place.